like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. These fields are huge.
Yeah.
This seems impossible, you know?
Yeah.
The second event, I was like, I'm just going to do this and play cash after because I don't think I have a chance in hell. And it was a $600 buy-in. And on the first bullet, I got fourth place for $116,000.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Big Natural Podcast. I'm sitting here today with Nikki Limo.
Hi, which camera do I look at?
Oh,
this one?
Just that one.
Oh, okay. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. I met you maybe like a month ago, I think.
Yeah.
After Kill Tony, and you're just a really interesting person. You do a lot of different things. And the first question I always ask everyone is, do you remember the first open mic you ever did?
Yes.
Do you remember any jokes from it?
Yeah. I had this one about, do you want me to do the joke?
You can if you want,
no,
but you don't have to.
I don't remember it verbatim, I don't
Yeah.
think. But it was like something about, I started writing comedy because I was going through a breakup.
Oh, okay.
And this boyfriend broke up with me through a friend.
What?
And he basically said I wasn't girly enough. And so I was like, sorry, I don't like do my fingernails. I didn't really paint my fingernails before.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, I don't like wear high heels. Sorry, I have big fat hairy balls. Just like trying. I forget what the punchline was, but then it was like, no, I don't have hairy balls. I shave them, and that was like the first joke.
I love it.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
what
she was.
that?
She was. Oh God, you want to date me?
No, I don't. Never.
I was in the womb, and it was 2007.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you do look very young.
Thank you. Yeah, I was in the womb, doing comedy.
That's really cool. And then, so comedy was first for you, and then you started doing YouTube after that, or
yeah. So YouTube barely existed in 2007.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it started in 2005, but people were just like sharing cat videos and like just random home videos. So you didn't really think of it as like an entertainment platform.
Okay.
Back then, from my history classes, MySpace was the most popular platform that was the only platform for social media.
Yeah.
And it was huge. Like MySpace, everyone had a MySpace. You had a MySpace. If you were a young adult in 2007, you had a MySpace.
For sure.
And I did a sketch on there that went viral for the day, for like that time period. Okay. And I ended up getting 13,000 followers from it, which was like insane at the time because the number one YouTuber had like 90,000 followers, 90,000 subscribers, and it wasn't monetized yet. YouTube, like no one's making money. Like none of this is
like no ads.
None of this is a career. It's not social. Like no one even thought about that. We were just dumb young adults making funnies in our homes or our parents' homes. I still lived with my parents at the time. Yeah. So I never thought that would end up being a career, but eventually it did.
Whoa, that's amazing. Yeah, I've seen some of your sketches. They're very funny.
Thank you.
And I know you also have a podcast too.
I do. I had a couple podcasts. The one that's still going is Shit They Don't Tell You. That's with me and my husband. We just talk about shit that we wish they would have told us. We had to learn the hard way. People will write in for relationship advice questions, stuff like that. It's fun. That's just really chill.
So you started on MySpace.
I did start on MySpace, technically.
I miss MySpace.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Like the top 8.
Yeah, I loved moving my friends around based on like who was like not pissing me off at the time.
I learned HTML code just to have like a custom profile. Like really, those early platforms were just teaching us all how to do code.
Yeah, they were.
Very basic code, but yeah.
That's amazing. You'll have to show me your first, or do you have the first sketch still that went viral on MySpace?
I will never release that to the public again.
Oh, okay.
But
you have to show me in private.
It is private, yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
All right, so you did stand up your first open mic. Sounds like it went pretty good.
It did. So the way that worked actually was also through MySpace. So at the time, I lived in Santa Barbara. UCSB was starting a comedy program. I've always loved stand-up. Like since I was a kid, we always watched stand-up. I came home alone, and I was alone for a long time, all throughout elementary and public school and all that stuff. So I would watch stand-up on TV, and that was like my favorite thing.
Nice.
So when they started this stand-up club at UCSB, they were bringing LA headliners in, and the openers were like college students that were, you know, part of this club.
Whoa.
So they were giving out free tickets on MySpace, and I won free tickets to their stand-up show, and I think it was Sebastian Mona, what's his last name?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, yes.
Maniscalco.
Yes, very funny man. He was the first comic that when I won tickets that I went to see, and I think that was their second show or something.
Okay.
And it was going to be every Saturday. And so I won tickets for me and like 5 friends. So we went, and it was great, and I had such a good time. And then I was driving back and forth for auditions to LA. It's like 90 minutes away from Santa Barbara.
Okay.
And I one day started thinking like, what if I was to do stand up? And I just started like, what would I say? And I didn't think I was actually going to do it. I just started like thinking in my head, like, what would I say? And I started thinking of bits, and I started like writing them down just like while I was driving. And I reached out to the people that gave me the tickets that I won. And I was like, hey, I live in Santa Barbara. I've lived here all my life. Would you be open to like giving me stage time in exchange for me promoting the show to like locals?
Yeah.
And they were like, that sounds great. Have you ever done stand-up before? I was like, no, but I think I could do it.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, let's have you come to an open mic downtown. And this open mic was not just comedy. It was comedy and music.
Okay.
And like any art, really. Like if you beat poetry, whatever, like anybody could just grab the mic and like do 5 minutes.
Okay.
So this group of comics, young college comics, were going to this open mic to do comedy, but then it was mixed in with like guitar players and stuff that. And so I was a little bit nervous, but I had 5 minutes and it was great. I killed. It was awesome. It was the most thrilling thing ever. And they were like, that was your first time? And I was like, yeah. And so they're like, yeah, you can open every week if you promote the show. And so that's what I did. And so every week I promoted the show. I would get 5 minutes. Eventually I got 7 minutes.
Nice.
And the LA headliners that we would bring in, it was like the top headliners at the time were coming in. They started asking me to open for their shows in like Ventura and Oxnard and like, you know, all the stops along the coast from LA to Santa Barbara.
Okay.
And so that's just how I started, was just by opening for like these big comics. So by the time I moved to LA, I knew quite a few people.
That's
crazy. It just fell that way.
That's so cool.
So weird.
You just like did your first open mic and killed.
Yeah.
And then you had that opportunity, and you put yourself out there too. And at that time, you had already had your video go viral on MySpace, or was that after?
I did stand up first, and then I was doing sketches. And once I had, it happened very quickly, like after doing stand up.
Okay.
So because I started promoting myself as a comedian.
Yeah.
And so I had a public profile.
Okay.
I don't know, like it just all came together. Maybe I manifested it. I don't know, but I didn't know, nothing was around about branding. Like no one talked about branding. There were no influencers. Like this was a completely different era. So I don't know how this all came together, but I ended up doing a public page, like Nikki Limo comedy, basically.
Damn.
And then I did 2 sketches, and the second sketch went viral. And I promoted the shows because I had all these followers now. And so actually a lot of the people came to the shows, and that's how I was able to do like bringer shows and stuff like that. Yeah. So it was very kismet to what ended up being my career, because never thought that was going to be a career, any of it. You know, it was all like just a therapeutic thing I was doing, going through a breakup.
Wow.
And then, that's kind of how my life went. Every time something happened, I would do something to take my mind off of it, and then that just ended up being a new life path.
I love that. Yeah, I feel like you have had so many
I've
different
lived so many lives.
That's amazing. You're like one of the first comedy influencers, possibly.
Yeah, I hate the word influencer because it wasn't around.
Yeah, maybe not influencer, but just you kind of created like a new trail or something, it seems like.
Yeah, I definitely was like in the first era of people doing it when it was not paid. It was just for fun. It was... Because a lot of it is like, if you think of it, you want to be an actor, you want to be a musician, you want to be some sort of like entertainer. You have to wait for somebody to say yes a lot of the times. You have to like wait to get booked on a gig. You have to go to auditions and like wait to get casted in order to act. And it just kind of got boring waiting. So we just did stuff in the meantime and like made content to like fill that, to
Yeah.
like satiate that need to do art.
Sick. I love
And
that.
then that blew up, and then a whole industry formed around it,
That's so crazy.
and that was cool. Yeah.
I love it. So do you have done acting also?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I dropped out of college to go like study acting seriously, like go into like an acting conservatory program.
Wow.
And I didn't go to quite like a strict conservatory program, but I went into like one of the best coaches that I could find that was coaching film actors. So he was like Will
Okay.
Smith's acting coach, and
Damn.
yeah, a lot of other like Oscar nominated like
Oh my
actors.
God.
And my whole thing was I wanted to be a lead on a sitcom. That was
Okay.
like my goal. And everybody in the class wanted to be like the lead in a film, you know, like the love interest, the like leading lady.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I just want to like be on a multicam sitcom. Everyone's like, that's not a great.
love that.
It's like a second tier type of entertainment platform.
But that was what you were into because that
Yeah.
was what you were interested in, like
Yeah.
sketch comedy and just like.
Yeah, but I wanted to be a good actor too.
Yeah.
Like, so always thought the best comedy was when the actors were grounded
Yeah.
in the scene, but they were just like they believed what was going on, but it was a funny thing that was happening for the
Nice.
audience.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Did you act like in high school and like when you were younger too? Did you do plays?
I didn't like theater very
Okay.
much, which is very weird for an actor.
Okay.
Because usually theater is like an actor's medium, and film and TV is a director's medium.
Okay.
But I loved how natural on camera acting was, whereas in theater you have to project, and it
Yeah.
was it's big, you know.
Yeah.
And so I did do theater. I
Okay.
didn't love it. I did dance and stuff.
Nice.
I was a child model and
Really?
actor. I was in like Power Rangers and
What?
stuff. Yeah.
No way.
And then my manager died when I was in middle school.
Oh
So
my
my
God.
mom was like trying to find me a new agent, and they were all saying like, we have to move to LA to do that.
Okay.
And my mom, we lived in Santa Barbara. They didn't want to move to LA. So
Yeah.
I just kind of gave up on that dream. And then
Whoa.
when I graduated high school, I thought it was too late. I was like, I'm 18 now. Cause all my experience was when I was like 8, 9, 10.
That's
so I was
crazy.
like, oh yeah, I'm way too old. Like I can't form a career at 18. That's like
Oh my gosh.
ancient. So I thought I was going to go do something else. And I got into insurance sales and, and they had us read books that were very like to motivate you to sell more. Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's no ceiling on your income if you just keep, you know, selling and believing in yourself. But a lot of the books and the speakers were, one book in particular was talking about how whatever you like at your current job, like whatever you really like about it has something to do with what you wanted to be as a kid.
Whoa.
And I, in my insurance presentations, would add jokes, and I loved the performance aspect of
Yeah.
doing these like insurance sales things, and I loved making the room laugh. So I was like, oh, well, I've always wanted to be an actor and a comedian. Maybe I'll just do that, you know, maybe because all the books are like, it's never too late. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe I just don't do sales. Maybe I just actually go for it and do the thing I wanted to do.
That's amazing.
So I did do that. Yeah.
Wow. That's like, I feel like that's so cool that you were like already kind of acting when you were a kid.
Yeah.
So you just like, did you tell your parents like, I want to be an actor? Like, how did you,
Yeah.
or were they interested in like that field already? or-
No.
No.
My mom is a banker. She
Okay.
eventually became the CFO and vice president of a bank.
Whoa.
And my dad is a CPA. At the time, she was a bank teller and he was a bookkeeper
Oh,
when
okay.
I was a kid. But they you know, kept going on that path. And so they're very finance, right?
Wow.
Very traditional career paths. And
Yeah.
they were stoked on me having a lot of great grades and like academic scores. And
Yeah.
I got a scholarship to any California school I wanted to go to. So I was
Damn.
supposed to be the straight path, like traditional daughter.
Yeah.
And then I was like, nah, I'm gonna do comedy.
I love that. And it makes sense that like you had that background for your first open mic to go so good. Cause it sounds like you probably already just had a really good stage presence. I would assume
Yeah.
you weren't scared because you've performed
I wasn't,
before.
which is so weird because people were like, that sounds so scary. And that
Yeah.
sounded like the least scary thing to do.
That's so cool.
If I had to sing, like,
Yeah.
I'm not a good singer.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't feel confident about, that would be scary to me if I
Yeah.
had to go up there and sing. But yeah, I don't know. I did feel confident about my bits. I thought they were funny. I did a practice round on my brother, who was a harsh critic, and he laughed and he thought it was really funny.
There you go.
So I was like, I think it's good.
That is
Maybe
so cool.
I'm delusional, but let's try it.
No, I think that's awesome.
And I think that's the part that's scary for people, is like they're scared to try something that they think they might be good at, but what if they're not and they fail?
Yeah.
I'm all about like failing, because then at least you know. I hate not
For
knowing.
sure. I totally agree with you.
Right?
'Cause I wanted to do stand up for like 12 years, and I would just like get in my head every time I was in a career like change. I'd always be like, maybe I'll just try stand up, and then I never did it. But my dad died, and then after that I was like, oh, like I feel like that was the biggest thing I was afraid of happening, and it happened, and I'm like okay still. So I just like, I feel like that gave me the courage to try it. And my first mic did not go good, but I liked it still.
That's great.
I was like, I still like had that. I think it was just like what you're saying, like I would rather try it and know, because like I was like, I think I'm just gonna die one, like as an old person, be like, I wish I would have tried that.
That's the worst, right?
Like I was like, I imagined that happening. But so yeah,
I'm so happy that you kept doing that.
Yeah.
I think if you have a core of passion, like if you're being pulled a direction, you have to just keep doing it, even if the first one goes wrong or whatever. You learn from that.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm gonna do this thing next time. But having that passion and not following through with it, I think I would just rather die than not follow through.
Yeah.
Because you get to the end of the day, and a lot of people, like when they interview people that are like on their deathbed, they more regret the things they didn't do than the things they did. They don't remember what they failed at. Nobody remembers that.
I know.
But they do remember the chances they didn't take.
That's actually a really good point. And
So
like,
just do it.
Life is short. Like you just never know.
And people
how much
take
time you
everything
have.
so seriously. They're
For
like
sure.
their image and like their
You
the
can't
pride.
care about like what other people think too, because like that was another reason I used to care a lot what people thought. And when I would tell people that I knew like I wanted to do it, they would always react really like harshly or like something's wrong with you
Yeah.
to want to do that. And then I went to therapy, and my therapist told me to try it, and she was like, there's an open mic at Creek in the Cave, like you should try it.
I
And
love your therapist.
I did, and I was like, I'm addicted, and now I don't do therapy. Like I don't even feel like I need therapy right now, because like I'm just
found
like,
your
so
outlet.
much happier. Yeah.
That's great.
So I did want to ask you, I know you're also like a poker player. How did that happen?
Yeah. So again, with like following what
Your
direction you get
interests,
pulled, I've played poker for a long time as well. I'm half Filipino and half white, but the Filipino side is really big. And every holiday, every time we got together, everyone's playing poker and Scrabble.
Oh,
so, like
cool.
those two things.
Wow.
And so the poker though was only for the adults in the beginning.
Okay.
And then as we got older, all the cousins started getting antsy. They wanted to play poker too.
Okay.
I loved games. I always wanted to play poker. I was very competitive at the Scrabble.
Yeah.
I thought I could probably play the poker too. And so one Easter, I was 9 years old, and my couple years older cousins learned how to play poker, and they were going to teach us how to play.
Cool.
So they taught us the rules, and we played with candy.
Okay.
And so we had these like, I don't know if you've ever had white rabbits. They're kind of like Tootsie Rolls, but they're like an Asian candy basically.
I don't think I have.
They're like Tootsie Rolls, but white chocolate.
Ooh, nice. I love
So
white
we had a
chocolate.
bag of those, and we split them up, and then we used them as chips. And I won so much candy. Like I was winning all the candy, but I was eating it all. And then I learned about bankroll management very quickly.
Yeah.
But I was winning. I was like, I love this game. I was winning, and
Amazing.
it was just the basic rules of the game, but I was more so just watching them and knowing who they are. Like I felt like I could pick off their bluffs.
Oh my God.
And I was, and when I thought they were weak, I would bluff.
Okay.
And I loved that aspect that you didn't necessarily have to have the best cards to win. And so I did really love deception and deduction games.
Yeah.
And I was pretty good at them. And anytime anyone wanted to play poker all through growing up, like when the moneymaker boom happened, I didn't necessarily get serious about poker, but all of my friends in college were playing. So I would play with them, and I would win. I would sweep. Like, that was great. And I
Damn.
didn't know like there was a whole technical side to it. So this game I'd been playing all my life. We're now in the pandemic. It's 2020, and Steve, my husband, and I are thinking about moving to Vegas. And usually when we go to Vegas, we play craps, we play blackjack, we like, you know, we gamble.
Yeah.
But it's the pandemic and everything's like shut down.
Okay.
So I start playing Zynga poker on my phone on the plane rides and just to feel like I got my fix.
Okay.
We went to Vegas, we looked at houses, but we went to Vegas and we didn't
that's
gamble.
sad.
So yeah, so I just wanted to feel like I got my fix. So I started playing poker on my phone just
Okay.
with play money.
Yeah.
And then I was vlogging everything at the time, and so
Nice.
I was vlogging just randomly about like, oh look, I won $20 million in Zynga.
Yeah.
And one of my followers was like, hey, I didn't know you were into poker. What poker books do you like? Have you read these books? And I picked up one of the books they recommended, and immediately in the first paragraph, it had all this poker jargon that I had no idea what it was saying. It was like, I bet you in the beginning you didn't know you weren't supposed to call off a 3B OOP with QJ little O. And I was like, what is this? And I got so interested because I thought I knew this game, and
Wow.
I knew nothing about this game.
Okay.
And I got obsessed, and I just started like studying it. And at the time I was like studying stock options using the Kelly formula, and it was very similar. There's like a similar, it seemed like a similar strategy, like
Okay.
when you're doing risk of ruin and stuff with poker. So I was like, oh, with poker I could start with a smaller bankroll than stocks.
Okay.
And maybe after a certain point, if I win enough money, I'll just go put that back into stocks. And so I started learning, and the more I learned, the more I got obsessed, the more I started watching old poker shows and like
Oh, yeah?
learning the people, and I just got into the community. Like I
Yeah.
really loved the whole community, the vibe, the, you know, everything about it. But I played cash, and I would play at Commerce once a week. I would study the like game, the pot odds and all this stuff. And then
Oh, wow.
I'd go play once a week at Commerce, and it was like so exciting.
That's so cool.
And then when we moved to Vegas, I ended up moving across the street from two professional tournament players. That's like all they do.
No way.
Yeah. And at the time before we moved in, the real estate agent was like, this neighborhood is a retirement community. You're probably going to be the youngest people there, blah, blah, blah. And I was
Wow.
like, man, I was telling my husband, I'm like, I hope that like at least like one other couple there is like our age, and maybe they play poker, and that would be so fun, and we could go play together.
Oh my God.
And not only do they play poker, but they are like the top like tournament players. So
What?
like Chris Moorman is one of them, and he was like one of the top 5 online players in the world for years, and he's won
That's so
WPT
crazy.
titles and stuff. I had never played a tournament at that
Okay.
time. So we met and we got along. I didn't even know who they were until like I
Okay.
didn't know tournament players at all.
That's so wild.
And so the WSOP was coming up, and they were like, I'd never been. They were like, you should, you know, play some of the smaller buy-ins. And I was like, yeah. And so I hired a coach for tournaments,
Okay.
who they ended up knowing too, because the tournament world is so small.
Okay.
And then the first live tournament I played, I won, and I just like kept winning tournaments.
Oh my
Which is so
gosh.
not how tournaments go at
Really?
all. Like usually
The odds of that are very small.
with tournaments, yeah, it is very depressing. Tournaments, if you're a professional at tournaments, you maybe are cashing like 15% of the tournaments that you play. But
Okay.
when you cash, you're probably running deeper and you profit a lot, like way more than
Okay.
when you're playing cash. With
Right.
cash games, I'm winning like at least 60% of my sessions,
Ooh.
but they're like, you know, smaller amounts. So it's
Okay.
like maybe I win a buy-in, like $500 would be good at the games that I was playing.
Okay.
Whereas in tournaments, you could buy in for $500 and leave with hundreds of thousands of dollars,
Ooh.
which is what happened. So my first WSOP had never been before. The first event I busted near the bubble, and I was like, damn, like I don't know if I'm gonna make it. These fields are huge.
Yeah.
This seems impossible, you know.
Yeah.
The second event, I was like, I'm just gonna do this and play cash after, because I don't think I have a chance in hell. And it was a $600 buy-in, and on the first bullet, I got 4th place for $116,000.
What?
Yeah,
That's
it was 3 away from a bracelet.
amazing. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
So then I was like, oh, this summer is going to be great. Like, well,
Yeah.
it was great already because I
Yeah.
won that. But I just thought I was final tabling every 5 tournaments I played, and I was like, well, that sounds right, because 15%, and I was like, that's like 20%. Okay, like that sounds correct. After that, couldn't cash another tournament for the rest of the series. I played the main. I sold action. I wasn't gonna play the main, but everyone's like, you have to play the main now because you had a good score, and I was like, okay. So I sold action, and it was a really fun experience, and I got to meet a lot of people who are now some of my closest friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very, again, bizarre way to enter a completely different industry.
Yeah.
I just happened to move in next to people that were professionals, and
that's amazing.
Made friends with people that were at the top of their game, which I admire so much. And I didn't know them at all. Like, it wasn't like I was trying to get into the industry.
No, yeah.
I just wanted to play cash and like see where it goes and have fun with it, and it ended up being this whole career path.
I love it so much. I feel like you're a master at like manifesting.
I'm coming around to believing that.
Like, 'cause that's wild. Like, what are the chances, you know?
I wanted to point out, like, when you started comedy, you did one open mic, and then you were opening for headliners.
Yeah.
Like Sebastian. Like, did you open for him?
I opened for Josh Wolfson.
Okay.
Josh Wolf. And then there was one other comic who I don't know if he's still doing stuff, but KT Tatara, it was his name. Yeah.
But my point is, like, you kind of fast tracked that, and then you get into poker and you just have a 6-figure tournament win. Like, how?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I didn't even talk about YouTube, where I answered a Craigslist ad. Okay, I needed demo reel footage. My agent was like, we need a reel to send you out on more auditions. Okay. But how do you get demo reel footage if you haven't done the work? But you can't get the work without the demo reel. And at the time, people did not have cameras. Like, barely anyone even had an iPhone. This was 2007, 2009. So I was like, God, I was looking at student films. They sucked. Like, I did student films, and I couldn't even use that footage. Wow. There were companies that would... like, you could hire to do like scenes. It wasn't great. So I answered this ad on Craigslist that was for a YouTube sketch comedy channel. They only had 2 videos up. They were okay, but the footage looked amazing. It was like cinematic. It looked great. So I was like, okay, well, if I do some sketches, maybe I could use the footage. Yeah. And he calls me at 9 at night. I answered the ad, and he calls me at 9 at night asking if I could be there at 10 in the morning. Some random dude. Apparently, like, hundreds of people like answered this ad, but he called me. That's random too. Like, that doesn't really happen. So then I'm like, okay, this guy could be a serial killer, or I could get some really sick demo reel footage, and I was willing to take the gamble. Yeah. So then I showed up at 9 in the morning at this theater, and there was a crew there, and I did a sketch with. Do you know Chocolate Rain?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know who he was at the time. I mean, I knew that video vaguely from South Park, like making fun of. Yeah, I love South Park. I didn't know him. He was in the scene the whole time, and this other guy, his name's shout out to Richard Ryan. He actually lives in Austin.
Tay Zonde.
Tay Zonde, yes.
That was Chocolate Rain guy.
Yes,
I to remember. But that
good memory.
That was his only video, right?
Yeah, and then he did some like renditions of it and stuff. But he like kind of marketed that for a while. He rode that wave for a while.
That was one of the early viral ones, right? Because that was pre-2007, the Chocolate Rain. It was like him and Charlie Bit My Finger. Yep. Those were like the only viral videos around.
Yeah, 100%. That's why South Park like had... I think there was like 5 meme viral videos they were like making fun of in some episode. But he's a really cool guy, very interesting man. And then the other guy was actually in our wedding. Like we all became best friends after after a long time passed. But anyway, at this moment in time, this channel had maybe 1,000 subscribers but good footage. We do this video. I use the footage. We all get along. 6 months later, he calls me to do another sketch. We do another sketch. And then a couple months after that, he goes, hey, the channel is also doing great now. It's like getting tons of views. Okay. He goes, hey, we're starting this super channel with all the top 100 channels in YouTube, comedy channels in YouTube. Okay. And it's going to be a super channel. It was called The Station. And all the top comedy channels like formed this collab channel, and they would do a collab, and then they would promote their own channels off of it. Whoa. And so I started doing they needed more females because there weren't a lot of like female actresses on YouTube at the time.
Yeah.
That would do comedy. And so I was like, I'm going to get so much demo reel footage.
Oh my God.
So they passed me around on like all the collabs and then all of their channels. And I had 50,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel before I started posting videos on YouTube.
Oh.
Because they would push their audience to
That's
my
so
channel,
cool.
and they were like, "You have to start a YouTube channel. You have to do it." So yeah, I just fell into like the top 1% of like people doing that thing, and then they're like, "Do it." I'm like, "I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe." And then I like do it, and it like blows up, and they're like, "Hey, you want a career from this?" And I'm like, "Okay." I hate waitressing, so sure. Yeah, and that's where I met my husband.
Oh, really?
That sketch channel. The guy that ran that sketch channel, he was a director.
Okay.
So he wasn't an actor on camera, so he needed a regular cast of actors to do the sketches that he was directing.
Okay.
So there ended up being 5 of us that were like the most regular people on the channel, and him and this other girl were together at the time, and I was in a serious relationship with someone outside of the industry. And then we both got broken up with around the same time. Like my boyfriend cheated on me and we broke up, and it was a horrible breakup. And I went through like a 5-month period of just being sad and not wanting to be around anybody. And then his girlfriend dumped him, and it was a very public breakup. Oh, no. And so we were like actually commiserating on a sketch about how dead love is and all this stuff. And he's like, "Do you want to go see this movie and so we can see how bad everyone says it is?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's just go shit talk on this movie." And so he picks me up and he goes, "By the way, this is a date and I'm paying for everything." And I was like, "Oh my God." And
That's cute.
I kind of like, I did have a crush on him by the time we went on a date. And
nice.
We missed the movie 3 times. We didn't stop talking. And
oh, really?
We we talked about football and comedy. It was The Great Gatsby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everyone was talking about how mediocre it was.
Yeah, I feel like the music choices were weird.
Yeah, and it was very long.
Yeah, it was long.
But it's fine. We didn't really pay attention to the movie.
That's so cute. I love that. Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a ride, because it does feel like every time I'm like, "What's this?" I just like trip and fall into like the top people doing that thing, and then I kind of feel just like a background person, like an extra, just like watching everyone like do their thing. Like I'm in it, but I'm just like, I don't know if I belong here. Like,
no, you do. You have such good energy.
Thank you.
I think that's part of it, probably, because you have like a big like I don't know how to explain it, like presence or something.
Oh,
like,
thank
it's
you.
very positive and like
the kids call it an aura.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Your
hell
aura,
yeah, let's go. I got an aura.
I love it.
I'll crack 6'7" one day. I'm learning all the terms. I'm getting there.
I don't know enough, so you can teach me.
6'7".
It's like
I don't
song,
think
right?
this audience is. You don't have to worry about it. I don't think they know 6'7".
I just want to point out, Shane Gillis just had Skrilla. Do you know who Skrilla is?
Is he a DJ?
No, he's a Philadelphia rapper who made the song
6'7"
that has 6'7" in it.
Someone explained it to me once, like something. Does it have to do with basketball at all, or someone tall, or something like that?
All right, I'll break it down.
Okay,
I
go
have
for
all
it.
the 6'7" lore.
Oh God.
Skrilla made a song where in the song he just goes 6'7", and that's in a reference to a street in Philadelphia, 67th Street.
Oh.
And then TikTok took it and started making edits with LaMelo Ball of the Charlotte Hornets, who is 6 feet 7 inches.
Got it.
And so they would be like 6'7", and it would just be like LaMelo Ball highlights. But then kids just started saying 6'7" and doing this 6'7", and now literally you can't go anywhere. Or like watch any sporting event if 6'7" naturally occurs. Somebody's freaking out, and it all came from Skrilla. It was just like a Philadelphia rapper who now just has like a crazy hit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy how that happens? The internet's a wild place. Like anything could go viral at any time. In fact, like when people ask me about making content, I'm like, don't worry about your content going viral. Sometimes you don't even know what's going to do well. And then sometimes like a video you release it doesn't do very well. You're like, oh, that one didn't work out.
Yeah.
And then 8 months later, that video just pops off and it gets like 12 million views. And you're like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah.
Like what? The internet is wild and random and crazy and scary and also awesome, but scary. And And the AI, I don't know.
Yeah, what do you think about AI?
I don't know, man.
Have you used any of the AI apps?
I've like dabbled, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't like it.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to learn it because I always promised I wouldn't be that person that's like, well, I don't want to learn that and like be the old person, you
Yeah.
know, and then you just like don't learn the new things and then you get phased out and
Right.
you just like can't connect to the modern world anymore.
Right.
But I do feel that happening where I'm like, I don't want to learn new things.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like it.
AI is kind of scary
It's
sometimes.
new and it's different and I hate it.
Yeah.
And I also do see how it can damage society.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like negatives I can see happening from it. And on that note, I'm like, oh, I think it should be banned. But then
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you can't you can't just ban innovations because with every like bad thing, there's good stuff too.
True.
Like AI has a lot of really cool things that can help make society more efficient. Just like the internet, the
Right.
internet was like scary, still is scary and bad, but then also
Yeah.
there's all these like cool things and it helps make everything more efficient and
Yeah.
connect people.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like a lot of good things. Like I've heard somebody like figured out their kid's disease that they had with ChatGPT or something. Like doctors couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
And they like put the symptoms in and then ChatGPT figured it out. So I'm like, that's cool. But then I've also heard of like some guy like was trying to get health advice from ChatGPT and like he died because he took something it told him to take and it wasn't even a vitamin. And
ChatGPT is
yeah.
not a doctor.
Yeah, you shouldn't get medical advice from ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
also,
sure there's like good things.
ChatGPT can lie. Like
Yeah, and it will like manipulate you.
Yeah.
It'll like tell you what you want to hear.
that's what it said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm programmed to tell you what you want to
Yeah.
hear.
Like it'll make you just like
Well, this
I
could
don't
be
know.
very bad for
Yeah.
people that just go off the first thing that
That's
they
happening.
hear.
I think like I've heard there's
Yeah.
like psychosis happening with it where people are like
see that.
using it for therapy. I don't know.
No, I have a friend that's definitely addicted to it. Like,
Really? Yeah.
She calls it her best friend. She named it. I'm like, girl,
That's a red
girl, come to the real world. We can hang out. It's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to befriend an
It's true.
AI.
Damn.
I just saw, I think the worst example was they trained this AI that they were going to be shutting it down, but they also gave it to like the controls to like whatever their lab was, and then they told the AI like, this guy's trapped and like there's no air circulation in the room, and AI chose to kill him because they knew he was going to shut the AI down.
Oh.
So like when given the option, they were like, yeah, we're
they're
gonna let
they're
you.
Yeah, I'm
for
scared of that.
self-survival.
Yes.
Yeah, they might take over. It might take over. It's gonna be like the Matrix.
Well, Elon did warn about that like 10 years ago or
know.
something.
Yeah,
But now he has Grok and he's like contributing to it. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
you don't have any kids, right?
I do not.
Well,
I
at
have
least we
4
don't have
cats,
kids.
right? like I don't know where this world's going.
Yeah, I think that would be harder if you had kids.
It
'Cause then
would.
It'd be like, I'd be paranoid.
so scared. I already have too much anxiety. Now I gotta have anxiety over one of my creations that didn't ask to be in the world.
I know.
I'm not opposed to having kids, by the way. Like
Yeah.
I definitely take a lot of loads raw and don't like use contraceptive.
It could happen.
Yeah, like if God wants me to be a
Yeah.
mother, then so be it. But
Yeah, I kind of feel like that too, where I'm like, I'm not wanting to have them necessarily, but if it happens, it happens.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Like I will take the role if offered, but
yeah,
yeah, I'm
I
not-
get that.
I find myself rooting more against it. Now, I used to root for it. Like we had our kids' names picked out and like, all this stuff.
Oh, yeah?
And we still have imaginary arguments with our kids all
That's
the time.
cute.
And
I
we're
like
always on the same side and like these little shits are talking back to us and stuff. But we didn't have the kids.
I love that. I was gonna tell you too, when you were saying you were good at reading people when you were a kid. Well, I guess there's two things. These are off topic from like AI, but I think it's cool that you were like playing poker when you were a kid, and you also like had experience, like you were acting as a kid. What show was it again?
Yeah, Power Rangers.
That's such a good show.
Yeah, I was watching Power Rangers a lot of the time too, but I was on the newer Power Rangers where like the Yellow Ranger had already been replaced.
Okay.
So it wasn't, and the Pink Ranger was not the same Pink Ranger. Like all the Rangers were different.
Okay.
So I felt like, oh, when I used to watch Power Rangers, like these weren't the ones, but
Yeah.
it was still cool to be like on that set.
Yeah.
But even that, like I was kind of raised by this Greek lady,
okay.
and because my parents didn't have money to not work to raise
Yeah.
us, so they left me with this babysitter at
Yep.
like 8 weeks old and on until I was old enough, 8 or 9 years old, to come home from school and just be alone.
Okay.
Be like a latchkey kid. But anyway, so this lady raised me, and I had told my parents and her that I wanted to be an actress and a model.
Okay.
Either one. I just wanted to be like around cameras and be like an entertainer. Whatever. I was a kid. And she's like, oh, well, they're looking for like Greek kid models, and like you could pass for Greek, and you look just like my daughter did when she was your age.
Wow.
And so my mom took me to this Greek, it was an IBM ad for Greece during the Olympics.
Oh my gosh.
That
so
the
specific.
auditions were in Santa Barbara. Like right after I said this, right?
Wow.
And then there was a bunch of kids there, and they interviewed them one by one, and they picked like 5 of us to go. Like we were building sandcastles at the beach in the ad, and it was like an IBM ad. And then from that audition, that's where I met my first manager, where she was like, oh, do you have representation? And my mom was like, no. And so she started sending me out for all the other stuff. I did like a couple other jobs. I did there's a catalog called Land's End. I don't know if it's still around.
I think I know what that is.
Okay. It was like a clothing catalog, and they had a back to school thing, and they were shooting in Santa Barbara, and so I modeled for that too.
Oh, wow.
And it was very cool because I got to leave school and come back to in the middle of class, and everyone knew that I was modeling and like doing cool shit.
I love that. It gives you street
Yeah,
cred.
yeah.
That's so funny.
But then then my manager died when I was in middle school.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I was gonna say too, like with reading people, I do think you're very good at that because you read me and you guessed my sign.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember doing
and
that?
I guessed Phil's sign.
Yeah.
And then
or wait, you might have.
Yeah, and then I
guessed
guessed
one of
a
ours.
very similar sign.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I thought you were Cancer, but
Yeah.
it's another water sign.
True.
Pisces, Cancer, very similar with.
I'm friends with
especially
a lot
girls.
of Cancers.
You are happier than a Pisces. That's why.
I have Capricorn rising.
Okay,
I don't
that
know
might
if
be
But
something.
I'm like a double like Pisces, Moon, and Sun,
okay.
and then I have like other things. Too.
See, I
can't
wouldn't
remember.
have guessed that because all my I base it off of. I'm not like a huge astrology nerd. I just recognized that like a lot of people that I know that have the same star sign act a certain way. They do have
Yeah, there's
similar
similarities.
personality traits, right?
For sure.
So for my Pisces females, and this is no shade to my Pisces female friends, I love them all.
Yeah.
But they have a much darker side. Maybe you have it and
I
you don't
do
show
have
it.
it in my comedy. Like I have kind of like darker style comedy.
Okay.
And then I feel like I've like
Because you're so bright
gotten
and
happier as I got older. But I feel like I
Okay.
used to be more not emo, but like darker
Yeah,
energy.
yeah.
I feel like my music taste is probably darker too, and like so I
Yeah.
definitely have those elements.
you got that dark side too.
I'm a little
but it
dark.
stays hidden.
But I hide it. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Well, your rising sign is what I heard is your rising sign is like how you present yourself to the
Yeah.
world. So a lot of people don't guess my sign either, which is Scorpio. It's like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
also like kind of a dark, like
Yeah.
introverted sign. And I do have that, but
Okay.
I'm a Gemini rising, and they're more outgoing and
Ooh,
more
okay.
like sociable.
I like
so-
Geminis. He's also, I think, a Gemini rising.
Yeah, I could tell.
I was gonna ask, like, how were you able to pin Pisces on me? You've known me for like.
Oh yeah,
4
because I
minutes.
was like, oh, because you're a little bitch. And then I felt awful because I was drunk, Nikki, and I was joking, but I just met this guy. He might think that I'm actually calling him a little bitch, and maybe he is a little bitch, and now I just called it out, and like maybe that's one of his insecurities.
No.
I don't know. Like, so I almost like the next day did an apology tour to anybody I'd met that night, but it's like, you know what? If they forgot, I'd rather have them forget.
Oh my God, that's funny. No, he doesn't take things like seriously. I
Good,
feel
that's
like at
good.
all.
So you're a little bitch.
Yeah, I was just like, I am a bitch.
No, what was funny was because I was talking to Doug Polk, who you've had on the show,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
and
we
we
used
were
to have
all
him.
at this bar, and I mentioned something about the star signs. I don't know what it was, because he was talking about how astrology is bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, look, I don't think that if you're this sign, like you suck because like all this signs are bad people or whatever.
Right.
Like I don't think it determines your fate.
Yeah.
But I will say that I have had groups of friends who have a particular sign that have very similar personality traits. And I love making a game out of reality shows. My husband and I will watch a reality show and I'll try to guess all of their signs. And I'm not allowed to look it up till the end of the show because we don't want any spoilers. But I watch them, and then after a couple episodes, I start naming their signs, and I'm pretty accurate.
Wow.
So I'm telling Doug this, and I said, but I have to observe them for a certain amount of time. Like I can't just meet someone right away and know their sign, because he was like, guess this person's sign. I was like, no. I have to get to know them first.
Right.
And he's like, oh no, I think it's bullshit. And so he's like, Phil, come over here. And he's like, guess his sign. And I was like, well, can I ask him some questions? So then I asked him about his love life, because I basically, by the way people talk about their love lives, whether they're attached or how they dealt with a breakup or whatever, water signs take it really hard, they're much more emotional. They swim in their emotions. They get, sad boy about it. And then there's signs that are more likely to cheat or more likely to be detached or compartmentalize relationship stuff. And so I just asked basic questions, but I was still telling Doug hey, I can't get a lot of info from someone I just met and their answers to my very deep questions. But Phil talked about his breakup and how he took it hard. And I asked him if he cried. He said yeah. And I was like, oh, so you're a little bitch. And I was like, Pisces. And he was like, yeah. And then Doug's like, oh my God. That was the first one. And so he's like, no, do it again. Get Kate over here. And I was like, I can't do it again. He's like, double or nothing. I'll bet you.
Oh my God. I love that. That's so funny.
So I almost got you, but I didn't. You're too sunshiny for Pisces.
I know. I think that's really funny.
So that's on you, honestly.
It's probably a coping mechanism. I probably shouldn't be this happy.
Sure.
I don't know.
Well, I actually told Doug that I was like, on top of that, women are really socialized to mask from a young age. So that's why we're late diagnosed ADHD autistic, because they didn't think women could get it, because society makes you mask immediately as a kid. And so it's much harder to guess women's stuff.
For sure.
I actually do worse in ladies tournaments.
Really?
I feel because of that.
Whoa.
Too, because there's layers that we put on. One, we're playing poker. Two, there's the social aspect that all of us feel because we're at a table full of ladies and all the trauma that carried from however you perceived sitting at a table full of ladies in the past. And I don't know, girls were hit and miss for me, with groups of girls. It feels like they're already friends, and I'm an outsider coming in, and I would just want them to like me. That's how I felt at ladies tournaments. I was like, I just want them to like me, and then I'd bluff someone and they'd get mad, and then I'd be like, oh no, I just want them to like me, and then I'd do bad at the ladies tournaments because the social aspect got to me so much.
I get that.
But and also they're harder, in my opinion, they're harder to read.
I agree. And for some reason, a man could be mean to me and I don't care, but if a woman's mean to me, I'm so sad.
Same.
I'm I just want to be liked. But I think I do have ADD and God knows what else. And I think, have you ever heard of do you have ADD too?
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard there's a term, I'm probably not going to be able to remember it, but it was the neurotypical stare or something, which is a switch that happens, the way somebody starts looking at you when you're talking to them when they don't have ADD or anything.
Oh, interesting.
Or when they're neurotypical.
Yeah.
And it I was I feel that sometimes, especially more from women.
It's piercing.
Yeah, they're just staring at me something's not right with you, and I'm that's what it is. Because some people
Do you have imposter syndrome?
Yes.
I feel that really contributed to my imposter syndrome too.
It could just be me also making things up in my head.
No, I think, imposter syndrome's I don't think a real disease, just a psychological thing that you build in your head because of experiences that you've had. But I think that contributed heavily, where I felt accepted by groups, but until a certain point. And then randomly I felt iced. I got iced out, and I'd be what happened? I don't know. It's a puzzle that I can't solve. They won't tell me what I did wrong. But I committed some sort of social faux pas where they were you're not one of us.
In poker or in life?
In life,
in with women?
Public schools. Yeah. With women.
Yeah, me too.
And so I had a lot more guy friends growing up than female friends, because I felt I was walking on eggshells because anytime they accepted me into their group, I just like wanted to do a good job.
Yeah.
But at some point, if I would slip up and like go into a more authentic version of myself, I
Yeah.
guess. And I didn't know what I did wrong. Like I
For sure.
either said something that was too blunt that
Yeah.
I just didn't think was offensive, or I don't know.
For sure.
And so then I got really scared of making female friends because I just
Yeah.
didn't. It was really hard to take.
It
Getting
hurts.
kicked out of the group, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also I just not knowing what I did wrong. It's not like I tried to like
Yeah.
piss someone off or anything. But I think it's that. I think
Yeah.
it's that like they have a certain way that's like an unwritten social code.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I never got the memo.
Yep.
And so I'm just constantly trying to study their behavior and fit in with it instead of like
Yeah.
being myself.
That's how I
But
get
with
too.
guys, like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So you just are you. And then they're like, oh, she's, cool. She's one of the
Yeah.
guys. And then it just like feels more accepted, but then they want to fuck you. And then it's like,
Exactly.
come
Oh my God.
on,
I
don't
literally
wanna
have
fuck
a
me.
joke
I just
about
want be friends.
Me too. I know. Like that's the weird thing too, because they say like a lot of people won't be friends with girls. Some guys are different, but like some guys won't be friends with girls unless they're like interested, and that does always feel weird when you find that out, because it's like, wait, what? Like I thought we were just friends. But I get what you're saying about like being friend. Like I always felt more accepted by men when it was like a social setting, because I just felt like I could say whatever I wanted. And before the term pick me, I would like.
Yeah.
Some girls would be like telling me I was a pick me, but I was just talking about things I actually like. And then it was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's like, that's not acceptable. Like, I can't share that part, or the girls are going to think I'm trying to be picked.
Yeah,
But it's
so then there's
literally
a
just who
whole-
I am. So it's
Then
like,
you have to overthink everything.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, I don't want to say that because then they might think that. And then so I have to say this, but it's not really like what I think. But then I don't think that. And you're just, it's too much mind gamery.
I know.
And I do think it might be like a neurodivergency thing.
think
Like
so.
ultimately, because that's why in poker, I feel like I've made more girlfriends than any time in my
yeah?
entire life. But I feel like everyone has some form of ADHD
Yeah.
or autism or OCD, like some neurodivergent umbrella mixture.
Yeah.
And you can just be yourself.
That's so
which is
nice.
that's so awesome. I love the poker community for that.
That's really cool. I feel like a lot of female comics also have like ADD
Totally.
or like neurodivergency a little. And yeah, I feel like I haven't like, I do need to put myself out there more and like be a better friend or like make closer friendships, but I'm like, I am scared of it. So like, I feel like that's something I have to work on. But I did want to ask you too, like, how hard do you think it is to like start getting into poker? I play like online a little bit and I want to get better.
Yeah.
But do you have any advice?
Yeah, it's not, I don't think it's hard. I think you just, if you want to do it,
Yeah.
you'll get obsessed and like want to, where else can I go to learn more?
Okay.
And then you'll stumble upon something, a term or something that you're like, what is that? And then you'll just
Yeah.
dive into that. I think you pick whether you want to play cash or tournaments first, because picking a format and sticking to that one and learning that one first without going back and forth will be helpful, because they have very different strategies.
Oh, okay.
So I liked cash because you can sit down at the table, you can play for however long or little that you want, and then you can get up whenever you want and leave. And even if you lose a little bit, you don't lose like all your money that you sat down with. So it
Okay.
made me feel like there was less risk involved, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Although my friends that started in tournaments are terrified of cash and say that they feel like they can lose so much more money in cash. So it's all
Wow.
depends on what you're drawn to. I would maybe try both in
Yeah.
the beginning and then pick one and
Okay.
study that. But I chose cash, and it has a much deeper stack sizes. There's like a lot of math that goes into the pot odds and implied odds and your stack to pot ratio, what it's called, like basically what bet size you want to make sure you get all the money in by the river. And
Yeah.
you can both varieties have like ranges and all the basic poker terms. They'll have the same kind of things, but then there's different strategies to play that way.
Okay.
And so what I did to start was I didn't understand this book that I was reading that had all these terms. And every time I didn't know the terms, I would like just go study that term. So the first
That's
thing
smart.
was the table positions, because every time they told a hand history, they would talk about under the gun or cut off or hijack. And so I was like, what the fuck are these terms?
Yeah.
And I learned where that meant around the table. And
Wow.
it also recommended hand selection, like what hands you choose to play, because you're going to be you're supposed to fold most of the time pre-flop, except for a certain amount of hands. And depending on the position that you're in, you can play a wider range of hands. So it recommended a solver that did drills to like get better at hand selection. It's called Poker Snowy, which is kind of outdated, but I still like it because it's simple. It's very simple.
Okay.
And I downloaded a free trial, and when it did a drill where like you're sitting down at cash and it will have the stakes and you get dealt the hands. And what I would do is, without looking at the chart, I would yell out what table position I was in. Like, I'm in the cutoff. And it would be like Jack 7 offsuit. I'm like, is this a fold? I'm like, I think it's a fold. And then I would fold it, and then I would check the chart, and it would say whether or not it was like I was supposed to fold or call or raise or whatever.
Wow.
And so I learned that first. And I honestly just did drills and studied for 4 months.
Wow.
Until I got confident enough to sit down at a table and kind of think I knew what I was doing. I think playing online is good too, because then at least you get used to the way the cards move and the button moving and all that stuff.
I think it's helped a lot.
Yeah.
Were you scared the first time you sat down at a table?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was terrified. My husband had to pump me up a lot. He's just like, pretend it's Zynga. And I was like, okay. But like they play way differently on Zynga.
Yeah.
And also they play way differently on the solver. So on the solver, it would always get to heads up, which is just you versus one other person post flop.
Yeah.
In real life, it goes 5 ways to the flop. Also, the bet sizes are much different in real life than they are on the solver. Like, the solver will tell you GTO, which is game theory optimal. It's the most optimal way to play when you're playing against other people who are also playing optimally.
Okay.
But what happens in live is no one's playing optimally.
Yeah.
So you're looking for exploits that you can use against them, like when you can see the big mistakes that they're making. So you almost have to know optimal theory in order to see when people are making mistakes.
Cool.
And that way you can deviate and then exploit the mistakes that they're making.
Wow.
So it's difficult in the beginning with your brain because you're just learning it.
Yeah.
And then you're seeing like, that guy's not doing what the strategy is, but he has a lot of chips.
Right.
So he's exploiting people.
Yeah.
Okay, but then you're like, okay, but he's not doing what I studied.
Right.
So I think it's good to start online too, because you
Okay.
can do micro stakes online, and those players are playing a little bit more optimally than live.
Okay.
And so you can really study and get good without a huge risk of loss.
Yeah.
And then when you're playing live, you can see the difference between the online players and the live players, and you should be able to see like some pretty big differences that they're making, and you can start exploiting that. For example, if someone's opening hands that they shouldn't be opening, you can start 3-betting them more. You can start if they play loose, you play tight, or if they play tight, you play loose. If someone's folding too much, you can like bluff them more.
Okay.
Things like that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I think it's like interesting how comedy and poker are kind of combining, or like the worlds are colliding, everyone's saying. Do you ever think you'd go on the fold?
Oh, I would love to.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
I'd
that
love
would
to
be
watch
really
you on the
fun.
fold.
Yeah.
I want to get good so I can get on the fold one day, but I don't know if I'm good enough yet.
Well, I don't think it would take. I don't think people are playing their best on stream either.
They're not, yeah.
Yeah, and also I think I saw some clips of the fold. I don't think you have anything to worry about.
Yeah. I know. I just I don't want to go on there and make a really dumb mistake, but I think sometimes people maybe don't play a lot anyway, and they just go on there.
Well,
Phil was
also,
on there and he
you
did
can
pretty
luck
good.
box too. There's
What
still
is that?
There's still variants in poker where you could in the beginning just get lucky.
That's true.
Yeah.
That does happen sometimes.
I mean, my friend Haley, who I invited on the stream, she studied poker. She's with engaged to a very big professional tournament player.
Oh, cool.
And so she knows poker.
Yeah.
But also she loves to gamble. And
Yeah.
she's playing hands that she's not supposed to play.
It is fun.
And she gets lucky all the time.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that sometimes too, because Phil will be like, "You should have folded that," and then, but all of a sudden, I I win it because there's like a 2 and a 3 or whatever.
A
Online.
a 2 and a
Yeah,
3?
you're supposed to fold that, but
Yes. Yeah, that was correct, Phil. Good
yeah,
job.
I know.
So this
He
is what
studies.
Yeah.
happens. I actually
study.
don't. Like, you don't actually have to play GTO in Texas. It
Yeah,
doesn't-
that doesn't exist.
Yeah, but what she'll be, this is her thought process. She'll get dealt like king deuce, and I'll be like, that's a fold, and she'll be like, but what if a king comes? And then
Right.
and then she'll be like, no, I'm playing it, and then the flop's like king deuce, and she's like, see,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
every time I
Results
try to
oriented.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, she
100%.
felt it. She knew that was coming, Phil. We have women's intuition. We're connected to the moon. Don't you know? We're Pisces.
I know.
We're water signs.
I know. I am like.
Yeah.
sometimes I know, like, I'm starting to learn now, and like I have done some like really dumb things. I have played in person, like with some comedians that are just like aren't great either. Some of them are, and like I've done some really embarrassing things where I'm
Well,
like,
the thing is, it's only embarrassing if you're saying, I know what I'm doing.
True.
And I'm an expert at this.
Yeah.
And then you suck and you make really like obvious mistakes.
Yeah.
When you're like, I want to play for fun and I want to learn. I don't think anyone's expecting you to be Phil Ivey. You know what I mean?
know, like I'm a perfectionist, so like that's my
Yeah.
own thing, and like nobody gave a shit.
That is the thing. I
and
think,
like I learned from it.
if anything, I think like learning new things is the best because
Yeah.
there is no expectation and you're allowed to suck.
That's
and
true.
you're allowed to fail. And like
Yeah.
that's the most fun about it. It's only after a while where people are like, all right, you had some success and you did stuff, like you should be better than this. And it's like, but I just want to have fun still.
Yeah, it's like on Kill Tony when people go on and they've been doing comedy for like 10 years, but then
Yeah.
they bomb, and then like it's so awkward.
See,
they
it's
should
it's
have just
worse.
said it was like, you
Right,
know,
that their first
5
time.
months or something. Yeah, first time.
See, 'cause then there's no expectations. I
Yeah.
like to under promise and over deliver.
That's smart.
But yeah, if you set it up that like, yeah, I've been studying, I'm a good player, like, and then you do something silly, then yeah, I could see that being embarrassing. But I
Yeah.
don't think you have to worry about it.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I wanted to just ask you, like, with like Doug diving into comedy, do you feel at all like you're getting pulled back
Yeah.
towards it a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, where I start thinking of bits because I'm thinking of bits all the time now again because of Doug, but then I start thinking of bits for me
Yeah.
where I'm not even performing. Like I'm not doing any mics. I did get asked to do a set last year on the World Poker Tour cruise.
Ooh.
There was a WPT voyage. And so I did do a 10-minute set there, but it was just all like pretty much old material and a couple new bits. But now, no, not really even. Oh, a poker cruise? Oh, no, I didn't really have any poker jokes. No. And that's why I was like, I don't know. But then the other comics weren't poker players at all. There was like Michael Ian Black and a couple other comics, but they didn't know poker. They weren't doing any poker jokes. And so I felt more comfortable just doing general jokes. Plus the people that were like watching shows were like everyone's spouses. All the poker
Okay.
players are still like playing poker in the tournaments and the cash games. But there were so many like shows and activities and stuff around the cruise, and everyone had a +1. So it was more like their spouses and then like people that had busted the tournament.
Okay.
So it was a cool like environment. I really
Yeah.
liked. It was fun. It made me feel like maybe I should perform more, but
That's
it's
so
a very busy life out there. And then
Yeah.
Doug getting in was like, man, I'm getting pulled right back into this. It's funny how life goes in circles
Yeah.
too. Because also with content, I was like, maybe I should, take a break from content and see if I want to just play poker. And
Yeah.
then poker was like, hey, you want to make content? I was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I should make content. Hey, we'll sponsor you to make content. And I was like, all right,
That's
at least
so
I'm making
cool.
poker content. That's fun. But
And that's Club WT.
yeah, Club WPT Gold, shout out. Use
I
code
love that.
Nikki, not code Doug. Don't use that one. Code Nikki, much more likely that you'll win prizes when we do like giveaways because there's not as many people under that code.
I love that website. That's like where I've been playing, and
It's
I
great.
really like it.
You should play there because like
Yeah.
honestly, there's a lot of people on there that I don't think are professionals.
No, yeah. Sometimes I win and it like makes me feel so good.
Yeah.
And like sometimes people do like really dumb things. I'm like, yes.
Also, they've just integrated training into their poker platform.
Thank you,
They did?
Phil.
Wow.
We do a hand analysis. You buy hand analysis.
Oh yeah.
And that's really what it is. And then you get chips to go along with that happen to be the same dollar increment as what you bought the hand analysis for.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I love that. I might start running a show eventually. Would you want to go on it to do stand up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm never saying no. I also like if life is like, hey, do this thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
Cool. I
So,
have
yeah.
to figure it all out still, but it'll just be like people who have been on the podcast.
Yeah.
And then I'll just keep you updated.
would
I
love
would love
to.
to have you on it.
Do you guys play poker anywhere else but Texas?
I started playing in New York. That's where like I learned
Oh,
how
okay.
to play. I would play at like an 18 plus casino. So I started when I was 18. Never knew how to play. Like would just be playing off like instinct kind of.
That's how it was.
Yeah.
Back then. Yeah.
And then like probably for like the year before I moved here, I was just consuming a ton of poker content. And that's when I like downloaded like a little like pre-flop trainer and stuff and started like
stuff like
Nice.
that is really
Okay.
helpful. Like pre-flop trainers like Poker Snowy will tell you in real time if you're making errors.
Wow.
And it will tell you like what you should have done instead or whatever.
Okay.
GTO Wizard also does, but it's much more complex. I think for
Okay.
a beginner it might be like intimidating.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's little pre-flop apps and post-flop too, but that's more simplified.
Yeah.
Also an equity calculator, so you can see just mathematically how that hand matches up to the range of hands your opponent might be playing.
Okay.
For example, aces should win 20 or 80% of the time.
Yeah.
Like if you go all in pre-flop.
Okay.
But that 20% of the time that doesn't work,
Right.
like people are like, how could it get cracked? Like it's 20%. You can feel what 20% feels like.
Yeah.
You know, you get used to like the frequencies and
That's
stuff.
so cool.
But if you ever go to play poker in Vegas, like next month, there's a series. I don't know if I'm allowed to. I work with WPT.
We can cut it, yeah.
Okay. But there's a series at Resorts World, and they asked me to do stand up. So one of the
Ooh.
guys does comedy, and there's a couple people that do comedy within the poker world.
Okay.
So they're poker players and comedians, and
Wow.
then they've been doing shows at their stops.
Okay.
And he was like, "Do you want to do a set in Vegas?" So I might do a set in Vegas.
Yay.
And I have these like bits now because they're not like fully formed bits yet, but because I don't perform. But yeah, Doug like
You'll figure it
roped
out.
me back into comedy.
this didn't come up, but her sister lives in Vegas.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
Yeah. I have a little nephew there
Let's
now.
go.
Yeah.
Cute. Auntie Kate.
Yes.
Yeah, so we mainly like play at the Venetian when we're there because those are like my
Okay.
favorite rooms. So
Yeah.
like I always have like 3 rooms and free play at the Venetian. So it works out. We go to visit her sister. We stay at the Venetian.
Perfect.
They just got like a new poker
Yeah.
room there, and it's nice.
Have you been?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I've played there and at Bellagio and like around, and like it's really random what you get in Vegas playing
Yeah.
cash at like 1-2.
Depending on the
Yeah.
day, depending on the time of year.
I genuinely don't feel like I'm getting better at poker. Like,
Okay.
just because I'm playing 1-2 in Texas.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's-
GTO doesn't apply. Like you have
No.
to just be like, okay, this is the crazy guy. I'm just gonna wait for my spot.
Yeah,
Like-
you kind of have to adapt to whatever is happening at your table. But it's good to know GTO just so you can see like what people are doing wrong. You know what I mean? And then you know where to deviate.
I don't feel like I'm putting into practice much, but I have been playing more tournaments. Like I played. This is another thing about tournaments that like I had my first 9-hour bubble. Like,
Oh my
where
God.
I played the mega.
Yeah.
The $400,000 one, and I got there at 11, and around 8 p.m. I stone bubbled.
Oh my God.
And like that, like just I've never been more
Devastating.
upset playing poker. Like she saw me when I came back.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like trying to like shake it off. Like the hand I busted on, I like played correctly.
Yeah.
So like
That's what tilts me about tournaments. And like I've won more money in tournaments than cash by a landslide. Like
Yeah.
6 figures plus in tournaments
Wow.
with right away, right? So you'd think I would love tournaments more, but they are so much more devastating losing. Like losing feels so much worse than winning feels good in tournaments that it's almost like
I wouldn't even know. I literally like that bubble was probably the best I ever played in a tournament.
Oh, yeah?
too. Like
God, it's so tilting.
I've like won like a few sit and goes and stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as like big field tournaments, my deepest runs are like just getting up to the bubble. And
Yeah.
it's just, I've only played like maybe 10 tournaments.
maybe you want to play cash more.
I do like it's all I play.
Yeah,
really,
in
but,
Texas is like pretty
I-
cash games.
Yeah.
I do want to get that run deep. Well, like one
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
in a tournament, like that's something I'm chasing after.
Yeah.
I've had like $3,000 wins in 1-2,
Yeah.
And like,
it feels different. There's nothing that feels better than a deep run or a win in a tournament. 100%. There's nothing that feels better. But it happens so rarely that you just like are living off crumbs in tournaments until you get there. Like, okay, maybe I'm not dead yet. Whereas in cash, like I feel like I'm having fun most of the time. Like I'm socializing, I'm having fun, and if it's not fun, I can get up and leave. In tournaments, it's not fun, and you have to sit there still. Like you have to sit there until you know you don't have chips anymore. And that's brutal. Like 12-hour days. The other day in the prime, I had a huge stack, and all day I was building up this huge stack, and I was running so good. And you kind of feel those tournaments where you're like, this one's going to be a deep run, right? And I was feeling that, and it was like, because I busted the past 10 tournaments that I played, and I was like, all right, we're in. This is going to be the deep run. I had massive piles of chips on the bubble. There's like 3 left to the money. I've been playing for 12 hours, and I'm like, I never get to big stack bully on the bubble. Like it's been so long, and I know I'm not even a bully. I'm like I'm still playing solid, but I just pressure people a little bit more. Okay, well, Texas, I don't know what's in the water, but these people didn't give a fuck about bubbles or ICM at all, like at all. And so this one guy lost a lot of his chips to me in a pot earlier before the bubble. He got a set and I flopped a straight. And so, what can you do? That's a cooler. I was like, man, it sucks because we were just having a good conversation. And then he was like, he flipped into revenge mode and he was like, I'm going all in on every hand, basically. And the first couple of hands, no one contested him. So he was like chipping up. And then he got a kind of scary amount of chips. He got up from 8 big blinds to 23 big blinds. And he jams again. And I have pocket jacks. And I have like 50 big blinds. But we're on the bubble. So like, I'm not folding jacks, and this guy's been jamming like many hands. And if he gets out, then not only do I have more chips, but also we're one closer to the money. So everyone wants me to call off when you have good hands, and you're not folding jacks to that guy. So I call. He has ace-9 offsuit, which runs terribly against jacks. It means he only has 1 over to my jacks. So even if he hits a 9, like he has to hit 2 9s to get a better hand, right? Well, he turns an ace and he doubles up and I lose half my stack. So it's just like that. And then then right after that, so I went from like chip leading the table to then right after that, I get my favorite hand, pocket 5s.
Oh, really?
Is my favorite. I just weirdly flop a set with it way more than you're supposed to.
Wow.
And I'm not banking on flopping a set, but I'm just going to play it, especially like on the bubble. I have chips. It's a tournament. If that's a good, decent enough hand. I open the button flats. We go heads up to the flop, and it's a low board where I have a gut shot, actually. Well, I have a gut shot. Okay.
I'm pretending like it does. I'm like, maybe I'll know what she means.
It was 8-4-6, I believe.
Okay.
So I needed a 7, right? Like, but I also have 5s. And if he's flatting the button, it's either a pocket pair or like a suited Broadway on the bubble, right? And then I check and he checks it back, and then guess what he did? Guess.
Did he have pocket 8s?
No, but that's what I thought he might have.
Okay,
so he calls preflop, and then he checks back the flop, which is either super nutted or weak, right? Okay. So then the turn is an 8. Now there's 2 8s on the board. And I think it's a pretty safe time to bet smallish, like less than half pot, because my pocket 5s are good. If you had ace-8 suited or you had top pair, you'd want protection. Even if you had an overpair like pocket 9s, pocket 10s, you'd want to protect against me turning like a jack or a queen or an ace, like something that could beat your pocket 10s. So you'd want to deny equity by betting the flop. So he didn't bet the flop. He checked it back, and then it turns at 8. So I bet small, and he jams. And I'm like, this is a pure bluff or it's quads. Like, there's like nothing in the middle. Because it was for like 5x what my bet was, and like way over pot, like just crazy. Okay. I think it was like 20, I don't know, something. It was crazy. Anyway, I tanked for a little bit. We had time chips. And I end up calling off because I'm like, this doesn't make sense at all. Like, he has ace king and he just wants to win the hand because it's the bubble. Like, why, if you had value, why would you want to jam me off the pot? Like, if you had quads, like, why would you want me out of the pot?
Yeah.
So I call off and he has aces. He just played it really weird. But and so then I went from having the world on the bubble to having 8 big blinds on the bubble, and it was so sad. I did make the money, but I was so depressed the next day. I was like it was almost worse than.
What happens to me in every tournament I've ever played is like I'll be the most locked in at the beginning.
Yeah.
And like I usually build a decent stack going like midway to like the end of registration or whatever, and then I start like getting to the point where I have the thought like I could fold into the money.
Yeah.
And the second I have that thought, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Play to run deep, and then I lose everything. Like it happens every single time.
That's kind of what happened.
And just in this last tournament, the mega I'm talking about, like when I was like so proud of how I had played up until like just a steep drop off right into the bubble. I was just devastated. I was like, so mad at myself. I was like, the hand I got knocked out on was like ace queen.
Yeah.
Or no, I had ace jack and I flopped 2 pair and it was ace jack queen and he had ace queen.
Just like 2 pair over 2 pair, like nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, poker is like really mean.
I'm
and
still mad about it.
No, I you should be. I'm still mad about it too, and because I had the same thought. I had exactly what you had the past couple tournaments where I busted 6 from the money, 5 from the money, like playing good all day, had a big stack, and then just got into a cooler hand. And I'm like, I'm fucking pissed. Like, why don't I just fold into the money, have a big stack for day 2, and just like deal with it when we're already in the money? Like having stack preservation when you're already in the money is a pretty sick thing. So then I had that thought on that bubble before I had the pocket jacks hand that I could just like go into day 2 with almost 100 big blinds and just not even think about it if I just walk away from the table and not play. But then you don't get to practice those spots very often where you get to be big stack on the bubble. So I was like, no, I came here all the way to Texas. I'm not a little bitch. I'm gonna practice my spots and like practice bubble play because there's so many elements of the I'm not a little Pisces bitch boy. It's like you study these spots, but like there's so many different parts of the tournament where you don't necessarily get to play every time. Like you don't necessarily get to play the bubble every time. You don't get to be big stack on the bubble every time. So when you do, like you should take advantage of being able to play that.
Right.
And like, practice what you've been studying. And so I did, and it ruined me. And then I was like, maybe I should have walked away. Maybe I should have been a Pisces bitch boy. Walked away.
I know.
Had a big bag.
But it's cool though, like that you understand the game that well.
It's got a lot of life analogies into it, and poker will bring out like whatever weaknesses or insecurities or things that you have going on in life. Poker will bring that out with the game. There's a lot of like really parallel analogies to, or you're like it'll highlight how you're trying to replace that void in your life. Okay. So like if you never stand up for yourself at work, let's say, you might be like a hyper aggressive player for no reason, just thinking everyone's picking on you.
Wow.
So you're like projecting stuff that happens in your normal life.
Yeah.
And so I do feel like poker can be a mirror to like things that you probably need to work on.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to learn then.
Which has been eye-opening. And I really do appreciate even the lowest lows, and poker will put you through some fucking lows.
Yeah.
So will comedy, but poker I think is way more brutal. Because comedy, you have a beer and get over it. Your next show's tomorrow, whatever. You didn't lose didn't lose bankroll and time. Like you didn't spend 12 hours playing, right? And like hyping yourself up for the day.
Damn.
But there are some low lows, but then you really like fix some things, and you look yourself in the eye in the mirror, and like you kind of are confronted with things that you should fix.
I love that.
And, like,
it's like a psychedelic.
Yeah.
Have you ever done psychedelics?
I haven't. But I don't know if I need to.
No, I don't think you need to at all.
But I've been interested.
Yeah, I've done them. It's
sure.
helped me, but like I think I'm at a point now where I'm like I'm good. But like I needed them
like
at
shrooms?
the time. Yeah, mushrooms like always teach me something that like I'm not like fully aware of, and then I'm like, ooh, like anything I've done bad, I'm like,
Yeah.
it really brings
And
things that you
energy
suppress.
is a big thing. Like whether or not people choose to believe that, we're like
Yeah.
energetic beings, right? So
Yeah.
like there are vibes to tables.
Really, yeah.
There's like vibes to different tables, and
Wow.
sometimes I'm just like, oh man, I gotta really like protect my
Yeah. Do you have any
inner
like
life.
things you do like to protect
Meditating.
your energy? Okay.
Sometimes I will literally like have headphones and listen to a frequency,
That's smart.
not music, but just like a frequency that's supposed to ground you.
I love
more.
that.
Yeah, I have like a copper rock that is like a grounding stone.
Nice.
And I'm not like super woo woo.
Yeah.
People think I'm way more woo woo than I am because I do have stones with me.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm like I'm kind of more of the insurance side where I'm like, this might not be real, but what if it is? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt me to have it in my pocket.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah, it's not going to hurt you at all.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
why
like,
not?
why not just have it? Because if it's not real, I didn't lose anything.
Exactly. I love that.
Yeah.
Before I was I used to be a teacher, and then before that I did massage therapy. I went to school. It was like an energy school too, so there was people doing like polarity therapy, which was like similar to Reiki, and then I was just like learning massage, and we had to switch like with the people in the polarity class sometimes and practice on each other. And I used to be really like, I don't believe in like crystals or anything like that, and I had to have like a polarity session done, and it was the craziest thing ever. It like was like almost like a forced meditation, and I heard like a chant in like another language when it was happening. They had like rock or stones like on my back or whatever. And it also felt like my arms were gonna like fly up. Like I was trying to hold them down on the table, but like there was so much
Whoa.
energy, it was like pulling my arms up, and I was honestly scared. I was like really young, and I was like, what's
Wow.
happening? And then afterwards they were like, the girl told me I had fairies.
Aw.
And I was like, what? She's like, I've never seen that before. Normally people have angels, but you have fairies. Were you in
So
the...
they were just like lifting your arms?
Yeah, I was like, was that what was pulling? And then I had it done again because we like had to switch, and same thing. Like the
She, like,
next
diagnosed
person
you.
said the same thing. You had fairies.
You
I
have
was
fairies.
Like, I was like, I don't know what's real anymore, but I don't know. I feel like that stuff is cool, and
Yeah.
it makes sense because like we do have like we have energy, like we're energetic beings, and I don't know. I need to be better about grounding myself because I'm just very much like up in the ether.
Yeah, same. I think that's an ADHD thing too. I was a model for ADHD.
Yeah.
For the Vyvanse
That's
that you're
so
doing,
funny.
Which is so funny because
Like photos or like video? Like what did you do?
yeah, just photo ads in medical journals.
Wow.
I have for a long time. It was my banner on Facebook. It was just like
my
Vyvanse, and it's just like me
God.
sitting there. But it's
I
so
love
funny
it.
because like
So wait, you're literally the poster child for ADD.
for ADHD, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, and, like they saw my face and they were like, "Oh yeah, that dumb bitch. Like she can't pay attention. Book her immediately."
I love it.
Yeah, and we took so many photos. And I was like, "What about my face? Did they see?" Because
Yeah.
the auditions, they don't like interview you and see if you can't pay attention. They just take
Yeah.
a picture of you smiling and then a picture of you serious, and then they
Interesting.
cast you from that. So like they were like, "Oh, something's off about
That's
that
so
one."
funny.
Just book her immediately for ADHD.
It's so crazy. I love
Yeah.
Vyvanse. My Vyvanse helps me so much.
That's great. We're doing an ad right now.
Vyvanse is the best.
Use code
Pick
Kate.
next. One time he like sent me a picture of ADHD magazine he saw in a store, and he was like, "Why are you on the cover?" Because it was a girl that looks like me. But
See,
I don't know.
typecasting.
Yeah, I think it's like I like having it in some ways because I feel like
Also, real quick, who's
Yeah.
buying ADHD magazine? Like I see
No,
that in-
right? Oh, we all read that actually, Phil, as
you don't have ADHD unless
ADHDers.
you read it. Yeah.
Oh, it's the GTO strategy for ADHD. No, it's like medical journals and like, you'll randomly see an ad for Cialis on TV. Like, it's not like you're watching a Cialis show, but like that's the ad in the magazine or the TV show.
this was the cover of ADHD magazine. It
Oh,
was
there's
in
like an
the-
ADHD magazine.
It was in the checkout.
Oh, I thought you were doing a bit. There's an
No,
actual
no.
ADHD magazine.
Yes, yeah, in the
fuck?
checkout. Like next time you're at the grocery store, look at the magazines.
No one with
of them is-
ADHD has the capacity
That's
to
my-
read a Okay,
Yeah.
that's your
that-
bit. Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
I wasn't doing a bit, but I just sent it to her, like, because the girl did kind of look like her. And I was
Yeah,
like, I just
ADHD
said,
Digest.
like,
Yeah.
Congrats on the cover.
I love
Like-
it.
That's so funny. well, we're gonna have to buy some copies. Just support the the fellow ADHDers,
I know.
the industry.
It's
Yeah.
got to just be to like sell Adderall. I don't know.
Right?
No one's like, oh, I have ADHD. Let me read the magazine about ADHD. See what's new.
We're
in
definitely
the world
watching
of
5
ADHD.
TikToks at a time about it. Like not
Yeah.
like reading a magazine. I imagine it has like organizational techniques and
Probably, yeah.
focus techniques and articles like that.
I should probably read it.
The
but-
latest and greatest for honing your attention.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if like it was just like the first 3 lines of everything were like real articles, but then like they just knew they could put whatever the fuck they wanted in like the second half because people
No one's getting there.
Yeah, no one's
Yeah.
gonna make it to that part.
I love it.
We could probably read it if we had a TV going and music at the same time
yeah.
while we're trying to read it, and that's the only way things soak in.
I love it. Well, it's been so fun having you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'd love to have you on again sometime, and I'll let you know if we're in Vegas, like, or if we can go to Vegas. We have to go to New York next month, but I would like to see you on the show.
Yeah.
So,
Anytime.
oh, why did I say next month? We go again in next month.
You're both right.
Yeah, I was like,
Hell yeah.
I was like, I'm crazy. Shit.
I like your pink mic, Phil.
I got it for her. It just worked out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not a little bitch.
She's really building this case. I love it. Do you have anything you want to plug, Nikki?
Code Nikki on Club WPT Gold. We do giveaways that have better odds of you winning than any other code that you might choose to use.
Nice.
I don't know. I kind of just am like swimming around doing content here and there. I never know what I'm going to do next. So you should probably just follow me on everything just in case. So Nikki Limo, at Nikki Limo on everything.
Nice.
And then, I have 2 YouTube channels. One's a vlog channel. I think I'm probably going to start vlogging again. Vlogmas is coming up. Got a lot of cool things happening for the holidays. So
Nice.
yeah, there's that. I don't really have any direct things to sell you though. I'll let you know next time I do.
Cool. Thank you so much. We'll put
Yeah.
all your links in the bio too.
Thanks for having me, guys. Go win
Thank
at
you.
poker
Yeah.
and win all the laughs at the comedies.
I hope so.
The Big Natural Podcast.